hope you've been having a wonderful, wonderful week. And even if not, that's okay too. How about we take a breath together? I want to get really in tune with you. Did you know, little bunny, that I love you? Did you know that? It's true. And you know what else? You're good for me, little bunny. Did you know that? Just you being here, listening with loving ears. You make great things happen in my life. It's been a topic I've been talking about a lot, isn't it? Do you feel appreciated, little bunny? Well, it's not even about making you feel appreciated. It's about me just saying the truth out loud. And lucky for you, little bunny, the truth is that you make my life wonderful. The truth is that I love you. How did we get so lucky, little bunny? Because this is our own little secret location on the internet, which you can only find if you last passed me saying, "Hey there, little bunny," because I have an incredible ability to find the best people in the world. I'm like a filter everywhere I go and just go through groups of people and I go bang, 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 bang. You people are so warm and loving and positive. You make the world brighter wherever you go. I want you. Snatch. Bring you into me. So this is my sneaky way of doing that. By saying, "Hey there, little bunny." Actually, to get here to the podcast, you have to have made it through some filtrations. Pardon my cough. And so you're here now, little bunny. And that means if you're here now, which you are officially my little bunny. And it says a lot about how high quality you are as a person. I really, really mean that. Really, really mean that. A lot of low quality people in the world, I have to admit. Low and medium quality. Some low and medium quality people. But you're among the high quality. And of the high quality, you're someone I'm very fond of. Ergo, you are my little bunny. I have some decaf coffee again tonight. Oh, we're starting so late. Give me 1 second. We are starting at 1:35 a.m., essentially. Ooh. Man. Let me drink this decaf coffee real quick. Let me take a sip. Ah, shit, it was so hot. Oh, no. That burned as it went down. Okay. But you know what? That's okay, too. Life doesn't have to be frantically trying to avoid all kinds of discomfort at any cost necessary. Some discomfort doesn't have to ruin your mood, does it? It can cause you discomfort, but it can end there. And you can still just savor it. How interesting it feels to have burning hot coffee go down your throat. Interesting and funny. Man, when you can say... I feel like I say these things way too much, yet at the same time, I could say them. The more times I say them, the better. If you can savor a bad cup of coffee, in this case, a too hot sip of coffee, happiness will find you. That's your assignment, little bunny. Not that I give assignments. You want to live a happy life, go find some bad coffee, leave it out for 4 hours to get cold, and then drink it and enjoy it. Or if you don't like coffee, pick tea or something. So I won't make you drink coffee, you don't like it. Okay, it's more about... Anyway, you get the point, little bunny. Topic I wanted to talk about today has to do with something I know a thing or two about, which is personal projects. And I bet you have some personal projects that, if you're not working on them now, you certainly have talked about working on them. And you certainly have the genuine desire to work on them. Yet somehow the hours go by and it doesn't get done. Do you feel seen right now? Do you feel called out by your daddy, little bunny? Are there personal projects that you want to get done that somehow the hours just disappear and the project doesn't get done? Are you guilty of this? Contrast that with employed work. Okay, let's say you work at a coffee shop. It's hard work, but you know you're going to show up to work, and you know you're going to do your time at work, and you know you're going to leave. Something about the external structure, and of course the need for the money, but it's both. Somehow it's so much... Sorry. Do you hear cackling laughter? That's Queen Little Bunny watching. She sounds like a witch. It is Halloween now, actually. It is 1:42 a.m. Halloween. I think Queen Little Bunny might have turned into a witch. What were we talking about? Okay, yeah. So you know reliably that you will get your work done when you have the employer who's saying, Bunny, do this job or I'm going to fire you. That sure motivates you, doesn't it, to get the job done? It doesn't make you happy while you do the job. But somehow the work does get done. And that's what can be so challenging about personal projects, is that there's no one you're accountable to but yourself. And you're not going to fire yourself. Imagine you get home after a long day at the coffee shop. Yeah, and you've got 3 hours to spend on something. And you know you could go start making that quilt or whatever it is. Swap in whatever your project is. And let's say it's a project that is meaningful to you, that you really want to get done. You're serious about this. Maybe it's more central to your identity than being a barista. You know, it's an important project for you to get done, little bunny. But you get home and you've got 3 hours. And you being the boss of yourself, you say, if we go watch the show, or if we go put on a black hole of TikToks, Instagram posts, suddenly the quilt doesn't get made, does it? And it's time for bed. So what does one do when you're your own boss in the context of your personal projects? Because I don't buy this difference between something being worthwhile or not worthwhile based on the money. You know, how worthwhile are these projects to who you are, little bunny? There are people here in New York City. It's like this deep, dark secret that you don't know unless you're in the industry, in musical theater, is that all these musical theater actors that come to the big city to make it on Broadway, It's a slow climb to Broadway. You don't skip straight to Broadway. You don't do that. You climb slowly, small show by small show and by small show. And the small shows do not pay a lot of money, little bunny. Which means all of these people who are spending tons of time auditioning, and they get these parts in small shows, and they do all the rehearsals and the tech week and all the performances and the matinees and things like this. These people have full-time jobs doing something else. They might be an engineer. They might work 50 hours a week on some mechanical engineering project in an office. And then in their lunch break, they'll go take an audition. They'll take off a little extra time. Or in the evenings, they'll do rehearsal when they get a show. Then they'll take vacation time to do the show. You know, pretty much everyone in musical theater in New York has a job that's not musical theater. Yet, they are actors. They are musical theater actors, even if the show that they do pays them $600, which for New York living is not enough to make much of a dent in cost of living. So your personal project, little bunny. I would like to challenge you to take it seriously, to have it be a part of your identity. Maybe you're a barista. Okay, you can be a barista plus a quilter. Swap in whatever works for you. Okay, whatever job it is, whatever your personal project is. Sometimes you can get them to line up. That's always really cool. I think it's cool if, like I have a friend of mine whose passion it is to play in rock bands. And he's really good too. And his day job, he works for a microphone company. And so there's a synergy here, which is really cool. He spends his day, I don't know what he does in that company. So he sells microphones, okay? Spends his day selling microphones, and then in his evenings, he's playing rock shows. I don't like this idea that it's a common question, at least in America. One of these icebreaker questions is, oh, so what do you do? And what they mean by that is, what is your primary source of income? And perhaps your primary source of income is mechanical engineering. Yet, you're not a mechanical engineer. You're a musical theater actor. So I give you full permission to unmarry the concept of who you are, quote unquote, what you do, and how much money it makes. We live in an interesting age, little bunny, where even though it feels like we don't have free time, we have the data. We work half the number of hours as our ancestors did. Recent ancestors, like go back 100 years. People worked twice the number of hours. Chores and errands and things. You used to have to, okay, little bunny. 1 second. Okay. If you had to do something regarding your bank, you used to have to drive to the bank, wait in line at the bank, pull out your checkbook and things like that, and do like hand write all this stuff and write this and that. And you give it to the bank teller or whatever. And then you got to drive all the way home. things like this now, little bunny, you whip out the app, you're done within 43 seconds. You have just gained the amount of time compared to your parents or grandparents. You just gained the amount of time that it would have taken to drive to the bank, to wait in the line and pull out the checkbook and do the things like that. You have been gifted that time by the tech environment that we live in. You can use that time on the quilt, little bunny. That's right, you can. Or whatever personal project you're swapping in for quilting in this particular episode. And with that, I mean, if you're spending 10 hours a week on something, that is the thing you do, or you can justifiably say that's the thing you do, even if you work 40 or even 50 hours. Beyond that, what's another thing? I need to have like a master list of things. Why don't you do this, little bunny? Why don't you email me what your thing is, your personal project? I know on the Discord, as part of the locked section of the garden, we have a lot of artsy bunnies. This is so fun. Some of your fellow bunnies, multiple, are doing more voice stuff, whether it's podcasting or making spicy audios, things like that. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, let's say you want to start a podcast, little bunny. It's tough to start a podcast. It's tough to find listeners. Don't measure your success on number of listeners. It's the age-old game of trying to grab attention. But yeah, little bunny, if you release a podcast every week and you put your heart into it and you have interesting things to say and to talk about, you're a podcaster, little bunny. Someone asks you, what do? You don't have to say, let's pick another job. You don't have to say, I do customer service for a corporation. I'm sure it's good to find the passion in that too, but that doesn't have to be your answer. It doesn't have to be who you are or the activity that you choose to identify with. You can say, I'm a podcaster. And I give you full permission to mean it, to own it, for it to be true, regardless of what your primary source of income is. So, maybe now you're getting excited for doing your little project, okay? Maybe you're writing songs on a guitar, okay? And you want to release an album, which you freaking can do. I think it was Billie Eilish and her brother released a Grammy Award-winning album that was recorded in their bedroom. It's totally doable. Totally doable. Hook you up with my friend who sells microphones, okay? And you don't need to get an expensive guitar. Don't fall into that ridiculous rabbit hole. It's the funniest thing, little bunny. So violins can be extremely expensive. I'm talking on the high end, above $1 million for a violin. The ones at that end are almost like art pieces, and so they're sort of just like investments. But if you dial it back down to like a $50,000 violin, which I know plenty of people who play on $50,000 violins. Every once in a while you hear the story of just extraordinarily wealthy people wanting to learn to play violin. So they think they can buy their way into it by buying like a really expensive violin. And then they play it and they suck because the only way to get good is to practice, to put in the work, to put in the time, to do the thing. That thing that you want to do, that quilting, little bunny, the only way to get better is to freaking do it. Just start doing it. And then do it. And then continue to do it. And once you're there, do it some more. So these extraordinarily wealthy people will try and buy lie their way into being good at violin, but it turns out if you sound bad on a $100 violin, you sound bad on a $100,000 violin. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so by now you may be inspired to do your thing, little bunny. Whatever it is, whatever you're using with this hour that you don't have to drive to the bank and wait in line and write something on a slip of paper. What are you going to do with that time? Now, pick an activity for the rest of the episode just to think of. You can change your mind later and say, oh, Daddy, it wasn't starting a podcast that I wanted to do. It was writing short stories and publishing them on Kindle. Then great. You, unfortunately, or fortunately, are not going to have a boss. Fortunately, because you don't have to have a boss. And unfortunately, because you can't get fired. And shit just does not get done when you can't get fired. I'm sorry. Wish it were otherwise. Wish human nature were different. But shit doesn't get done if you can't get fired. So, how do you put yourself in a position, little bunny, where you have this project that you want to take seriously enough that you can say it's the thing you do? Maybe it's a type of dance. Yeah. You want to be a hip hop dancer, little bunny, okay? You don't have to be in the music video of the latest Grammy Award winner, okay? You can just do a lot of hip hop dancing 10 hours a week, which is enough to be legitimate at it. And then you can be a hip hop dancer. That can be your thing, okay? What do you do, little bunny? I'm a hip hop dancer. Normalize that instead of primary source of income. So, you are... Where was I? Shoot, little bunny. Quick, Daddy, take a sip of coffee. It's still pretty hot, but it feels good. Okay, you can't get fired. I have a few various tips and tricks, all of which I will revisit in the future because there's a lot of good stuff, a little good insights. As someone who can never be fired from the garden, yet somehow has over 100 podcast episodes and who knows how many locked audios, and a book on Audible, and... But no, the book is not... There's a novelette on Audible. The book is on Patreon. And Patreon is 18 to 800 age range only. So don't join if you're not 18. Yeah. How do I manage to do that if I can't get fired from the garden? The answer, little bunny. There's multiple answers, but one of which is that I've got daddy energy. Part of daddy energy is committing to caring for you, to being here for you, to being awesome for you, to give you good stuff, high quality stuff, and to be here reliably every week forever. Forever, forever. You are the reason this shit gets done. Because although you can't fire me, my care about you is so strong that everything gets done. I say everything gets done. This short story, it's really my second novelette. It's kicking my ass, little bunny. Oh my God, it's taking so much time. I wanted to release it basically the same day this is going to come out, but there's just no way. There's just no way. I think I'm gonna keep working on it when I let you go for the evening. I guess I can come at you with more tips and tricks later. But let's see, what can your accountability be? So part of my accountability is podcast every week without fail. I'm clinging on to that so tightly, little bunny. What can you do? Is there a group? I mean, I don't want to say join the Discord. That's one option if you want. So you can... We should have some more formalized groups on the Discord for this. Like an accountability thing. Oh my God. This is the garden growing in real time. Okay. Why don't we do a thing? And I'm going to have my garden planners remind me about this / help take some initiative on this. What if we do like a due date, a weekly due date where you're going to assign yourself for a week, something for the week. And then we're all going to post on the same day our update. And it's going to be a thing where you gotta follow through. You gotta follow through. Everyone's counting on you, little bunny. I'm counting on you. You know what makes me sad is knowing that that quilt wants to get done. You want to get that quilt done. Just to imagine that time just vaporizing into the wind. I don't want that for you, little bunny. I want my bunny with their little quilt. And you can put DLB on it for Daddy's Little Bunny. And then you can wrap yourself with it. I want you wrapped in a quilt that says Daddy's Little Bunny. Oh my God, yes. Yes, little bunny, very, very yes. Okay, so let's grow this garden. What's this accountability thing going to be in the Discord? I think it should probably be posted Sunday night. I think so. That's your due date. Sunday at I think it's going to have to be the same time for everyone. So it's going to have to be Sunday at maybe 4 p.m. Eastern. I guess you just have to have everything in by then. Okay, little bunny. I hope you feel inspired to be doing something incredible. It doesn't have to be saving the world. If it's making you happy, it is an inherently good thing. Making you happy is a good thing. If it's good to make someone else happy, it's good to make you happy because you count as other people, little bunny. Got it? So, do some good for the world and make yourself happy this week. Make yourself happy by spending it doing a project that you've wanted to get done. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for me. I request of you that you do the thing this week. Okay? I will get to bed. It's a lie. Get to more work. But I will, tomorrow morning, write you a poem. And I'll send you on your way. So, you'll hear from me in a few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good night, little bunny. I love you. Good morning, little bunny. I slept very well. Thank you for asking. I've got a fun poem for you, and then I will send you out onto your day, onto your week. I'll be with you through it all. through it all. Your poem goes like this. When someone asks, "So what do you do?" it's possible to give two reactions. You could tell them your activity which makes the most money, but even better, tell your main source of satisfaction. Have a great, great week, little bunny. I love you. I love you. I love you.